Today I'll be walking you through system preferences and setup inside of DrivenCRM. The first step would be for us to go into options and utilities and go down into what's called company preferences. This is administrative only, so you need to have admin controls to access this area. When I make that selection, a new window will pop up. Very first thing that we'll see by default is our accounting setup. It allows for us to go ahead and focus on the QuickBooks integration. If you have not already done so, install the QuickBooks connector prior to working on this section. And it will actually automatically start the InfoLink system for you and pull in the chart of accounts that are going to be designated over here on the right hand side. Down under the bottom, after the initial integration is completed, you can come back in here if you ever want to pull data directly from QuickBooks again. You can obviously right from here just make these selections, go up here to the top and click on Save Changes, and it will initiate the integration again. So over here, though, under these actual charts, as you'll see here, for example, our AR account, it will automatically show me that we have by default accounts receivables where that's going to be fed into. But there are some options for you to go ahead and change selections if you wanted to. For example, if you have your inventory assets account to be different, and for whatever reason you want them to go directly into what's called furniture and equipment versus also your standard inventory asset account, that you can. Also in things like, for example, your cost of goods sold, or if you also want to look at things like changing your numbering schemas, then you can. And I would encourage you to explore these to make sure it's tailored to fit your needs. On the left-hand side here, we're going to also look at company setup. Now, this is important for a couple different reasons. One is obviously your standard company information that will print on your templates for purchase orders, estimates, and also obviously your invoicing. So here at the top, I can enter that data directly into here. I can also pull in a company logo, which would also be important. This is going to pull directly into those templates as well for you to see. We also have a direct integration via Google Maps. So we have an API right from here. You can take that API key and basically pull that directly into our system. It allows you to map out customer locations and things of that nature. If you want to know how to use that link, then at that point, just make the selection over here on the right-hand side to generate a new API key, and at that point, it will automatically generate that for you. And over here on the left-hand side, we also have SMTP mail configuration. This will be important if you want to do outbound emails from the DrivenCRM system. We can tie directly into your SMTP so that all the emails coming out of our application would be branded with your information. Look just like if you sent it from something like an Outlook or an iPhone and something of that nature. So if you have difficulties finding these credentials, then feel free to also obviously give our staff a call, those types of things, and they can help to walk you through that. Over here on the left-hand side under the country list, you can actually make your selections for who you want to actually see as far as your standard actual countries. So if you never sell your products, let's say, for example, to Albania, then you don't actually have to go ahead and have them here. Up here at the top, you can choose to disable those all, or you can actually go ahead and make it so you can enable them all as well. So you may only support maybe 2 or 3 different countries that you ship product to. You may want to disable all the other categories in that selection aside from those few, or on the adverse of that, you may sell product everywhere in the world, and at that point you can enable them all as well. One of the key features inside of Driven is our credit card processing capabilities. We do work with over 6 different credit card processors using common gateways like Authorized.net, PayPal, etc. The nice thing about this is the setup is very simplistic. If you make a selection, let's say for example I want to go from Authorized.net into working with the hosted PayPage application, at that point then it will give me detailed instructions over here on the right hand side on how to set that up. On the left here, one of the areas that are going to be really important to focus on is custom field capabilities. There's a lot of functionality in this, and I would encourage you to watch the video. We have videos built directly on custom fields, one also built on email templates, and also one based on printing templates. Those are separate. If you have interest in setting these up, then I would encourage you to watch those presentations accordingly. Employee setup is obviously a key area. We will pull the employees over from the QuickBooks application. However, we support a different security system inside of our app. With that being said, you can set up and add new resources over here on the left-hand side. If you want to make a modification to an existing resources profile, such as their security, their commission schedule, etc., or even just basic information like their address, at that point, simply double-click their name, pull the details up, make the changes, and then at that point, click Save Changes once completed. We do also have a knowledge-based system built directly into the application. You can create a template, so a different style, look, and feel of how you want these actual templates to look. So if you have, for example, here a very, a style sheet, something of that nature that you want incorporated into your documentation, then it will support that. With knowledge base, this will post out to the customer care portal if you want to, so you can make not only internal documentation on how to solve problems, but you can also share that documentation if you desire with your customers. This template would be used so when you present the data to them, it would obviously have the style, the look, and the feel that you want. Up here at the top, we also have an appointment confirmation template, and this allows for you to go ahead and mail merge fields directly from the system into the into the email sent out to the customer for appointment confirmations. Things like their obviously first, last name, the appointment date, whatever it may be that you want to pull directly in. And at that point, you can create that template, save that right from here. The printing templates, like we talked about beforehand, I'd focus on that. There's quite a detailed area of the product and how to do this as far as setting up templates on your sales orders, your POs, your work orders, your invoicing, etc. as well. So if you have an interest in that, make sure you watch that video. It'll go in depth of how to use those features. You can access that through our help site, just as you did this one. Then under here, the shipping integration, this is supported through a product called ShipRush. It's a phenomenal solution that integrates the UPS, FedEx, USPS, and DHL right out of the box. The connection to that is very easy to set up, and you can also purchase a key directly from ShipRush themselves. We support the ShipRush Pro product. You can also call one of our team members in our sales staff, and at that point they'll actually help you to actually go ahead and acquire that product if you desire it. If you just want to go ahead and create standard estimates, though, if you don't want to actually go ahead and complete the shipping process inside of Driven, then you can go ahead and get standard estimates right from here. So FedEx, UPS, USPS, and Canada Post, if you want to go ahead and use these features, you can. This will actually go out and take the dimensional and physical sizes of product that you're going to be shipping to a customer location, and allows you to go ahead and pull in real-time rates for what it would cost to actually go ahead and do that shipment. Up here at the top, if you want to actually complete that process and create the shipping label itself, that's where you would need to use the ShipRush integration. We also have a manual shipping charge configuration. These are for people that do standard delivery in standard areas. So if you're doing local courier service, for example, then I would encourage you to explore this feature. You'll see that we'll have another video based on this for your exploration. Tax table maintenance, this will pull directly from the QuickBooks application, so the tax tables will be here for you. If you need to add a new tax rate and feed that back to QuickBooks, you can do that as well right from here. We also have two options left here, the units of measure and the warehouses. We support inside the units of measure a full conversion strategy. So if you want to go ahead and have, for example, each of these items to be related directly to a pack, or if you want to have obviously a half dozen products actually equal to, let's say, for example, to a 6-pack if you wanted to, or something of that nature, then at that point you could. You actually can create those relationships, you can break those actual units of measure down, and then basically set those configurations inside your inventory as well. Down over here on the left-hand side, you can have your warehouses if you want as well. So multiple locations are supported with inside the inventory system of the Driven system. It will feed back into QuickBooks for you as far as a summary. So QuickBooks version 12 has come out with a multiple warehouse feature. We do not integrate to their multiple warehouse location feature. We have our separate. The reason for that is a bit more detailed tracking that we have as far as doing stock transfers and who made those stock transfer requests. We also handle things called virtual warehouses, where you can set up return warehouse locations if you wanted to. It allows for you to go ahead and bring product back into Driven without actually increasing your assets back inside of QuickBooks. So if you're doing repair services for customers, you're not actually giving them a full credit or an RMA at that point. You're simply bringing that in for repair. You obviously don't want to increase your assets back inside the QuickBooks chart of accounts. As such, this will allow for you to do that and ship product back out to the customer without it ever going back into QuickBooks as an inventory adjustment. These are just some of the many system configuration setup features that we have. There's a lot more detail obviously inside of these. I would encourage you to explore those. You also can use our relevant help documentation on how to set these up a little bit more detailed as well.